glad you're on tonight. And all the new folks that are on the line tonight, a special shout-out to you. You're going to hear about Relive International, the number one nutritional foods company in the world today. I mean, making superfoods, patented foods, foods that come with money-back guarantees that are changing people's lives, not just in America, but all over the world. And because of that, there's a fantastic opportunity to build a distribution network, a business right out of your own home that is so simple and so much fun. I've got some folks on the call today. They're scattered about the country, and they're going to share with you. Some are going to talk about the health and the great benefits they've got from these wonderful nutritional products, and others are going to talk about the business that they've gotten into and what they've done with that. So without further ado, I want to start off in Michigan, and I want to welcome to the call tonight Janet Reed. Janet, thanks for being with us.
Well, you're welcome, Tom. Thanks for asking. And I am Janet Reed from northern Michigan, and I've been on these products for many years. Before Relive, though, I was taking a handful of vitamins, so I was trying to be healthy, do the right thing. But I suffered with daily headaches. I had terrible sinus problems. I was with sinus infections and always on antibiotics. I had low blood sugar problems. But when we got on Relive, we put those vitamins aside, did what we were supposed to do, take the shakes the right way, and within a few months, all those symptoms, were just cleared and much better. I avoided a sinus surgery, which I'm happy to say, and I am an 8.5-year cancer survivor. I took a lot of product, and it got me through it. I just feel great today. I'm proud to say I'm 63 years old, Tom. I take no medication. I'm very active. I walk. I do Zumba. I do line dancing. I don't feel my age, and I don't think I look my age. And, boy, I will always share these products and put them in my body.
Well, Janet, I know for a fact you don't look your age. And congratulations on being cancer-free. And it's like I always say, in Relive, we need to move more, eat less, and take Relive twice a day, and that would just change our health. And, Janet, thank you so much. I'm going to go to Montana now, and I am delighted to have Shannon Bomback on the phone. Shannon, thank you for taking time to share with all of us.
Hi, Tom. Thank you. It's my pleasure. I first heard about Relive about 6 years ago, and at that time I was 6 months pregnant with my first son. I was just tired all the time. I had no energy. I was taking naps every day, and I also had been dealing with a lot of tension in my neck and shoulders that was causing me to have headaches almost daily. But after getting started on the Relive products, after about 2 weeks, I had sustained energy. I completely stopped taking naps. I had a great third trimester of my pregnancy, and after about 6 months on the products, I noticed that I couldn't remember the last time I'd had a headache, and that tension was gone in my neck and shoulders. And I also went on to have 2 more very healthy pregnancies, and I have 3 very healthy boys. In the past 6 years, we've had 1 sick visit to the doctor. They've never been on any antibiotics or had any ear infections, and it's just been great with the kids. And my husband got great results as well. His biggest result was with sciatic pain that he'd been seeing a chiropractor regularly, and his chiropractor actually told him finally that there was nothing he could do. He was just going to have to get used to the pain because he was getting old, and that was going to be his life. And he was 35 years old. So after getting very serious on the Relive products, he was able to completely be rid of that sciatic pain. He's been pain-free for the last 4 years, and he just loves his shakes and has gotten results also with energy and better workouts. And so we are all very happy to have Relive in our home, and we will always be taking these shakes.
Oh, Shannon, thank you. And, you bring out a great point, and that is the number one complaint in the doctor's office today is, Doc, I don't have any energy. You know what? We don't have energy because we're not eating the right foods. And, boy, people that get on the Relive products, it's the thing you'll hear time and time and time and time again from them is how they're just energized and they feel so much better. And when you feel better, you move more. When you move more, you lose weight, you get in better shape, you sleep better, great things happen. All right, back to Illinois, or let's say go to Illinois for the first time. I just want to welcome to the call Earl Bowers. Earl, thank you for being with us tonight.
Well, thank you, Tom. It's really my pleasure, and I live near to that guy, Rogers, that was on the phone, so you can say I'm from the Chicago area. But my Relive story started actually about 18 years ago. Went for a physical, my 56th birthday, had my annual physical, was really healthy. Doctor commented how healthy I've been. He'd been doing the exams for 15 years for me. Within 6 months, my health just seemed to fall apart. It started with acid reflux, and then I started having difficulty sleeping at night, and then I went to water blisters on my shoulders and my upper arms, thankfully not on my face or my nose, but I was going along. I'd been taking Centrum Silver vitamin mineral routine for years, and I switched over to the GNC Mega Men's product because I knew there was something wrong. But what really happened that frightened me and made me go to the doctor is I had heart palpitations start at night, would wake me up. Well, it only had to happen one time. It was very frightening. I went to the doctor. He did a full exam. He said, "What have you been doing in 6 months?" Because my blood pressure when I was at the exam was 118/70, and my pulse was 56. 6 months later, my blood pressure was 167/120. My pulse was at 68. And he just couldn't believe it. But when he was done, he gave me a prescription. And the prescription was to sell my businesses and to move to the South and live a sedentary life. And if I did that, he said I might live to see my grandchildren graduate from high school. Well, I went home, told my wife that. She could hardly believe it. Neither of us could believe it. And we prayed about it. I have to confess, we prayed about it. And within 2 weeks, I was introduced to Relive. I heard about it on the radio, and then a friend of mine was taking Relive. And he and I got in a conversation, and he shared that he was doing Relive. And so I got Relive from him, and he had been fighting with Alzheimer's disease and had an amazing recovery from that. So I took what my friend took. And what I'm going to tell you now, I want to just hesitate for a moment and tell you this is really true what happened to me. I started on Relive on a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. By Thursday night, when I woke up in the evening and realized that I didn't have to go through this routine I'd been going through for months, I went back to bed. All my symptoms were gone, and I was back again. I went to see the doctor 3 months later because we'd set a follow-up appointment with him. And at that follow-up appointment, he did a full exam again, and he said, "I don't know what you're doing." He says, "But you're back." He says, "If anything, you're better than ever." And I showed him the Relive, and he said, "Well, there's nothing in here going to hurt you. You better keep taking it because it's doing you a lot of good." And I have felt that way ever since. It's just an amazing story. I'm 74 now. I'm fully active. I hate to tell Jim Rogers that I'm 74, but now it's out. And I feel so great. I'm still running businesses, and my life is a joy because when you have your health, you have everything. Thank you to Relive, and I thank God for Relive.
Oh, Earl, thank you for sharing, and you're a joy. Gosh, those kind of stories they're just fantastic, and I hear them all over the world. And gosh, folks, if you're not on the Relive product, get on them. All right, I'm going to stay in Illinois, and I want to go to now, welcome to the call, Tracy Wickenhauser. Tracy, thanks for being with us.
Oh, you're very welcome. My name is Tracy Wickenhauser, and I'm from Maroa, Illinois. And just over 2 years ago, I was introduced to Relive, which was a true blessing because several months before, I had just undergone a second extensive procedure on the nerves and muscles in my arm and shoulder, and they had to remove the first rib. And following the surgery, the post-op complications grew far worse than the issues I was having prior to my surgery. I was having constant pain, restless, unable to sleep, unable to focus. I had no energy. I had lost over 50% use of my arm and my hand. I was unable to do anything with my kids. I was basically just a couch potato. I was traveling over 2.5 hours one way multiple times a week for physical therapy, nerve and muscle blocks, and follow-up appointments with my neurosurgeon. And following the months after surgery, the post-op complications were just increasingly getting worse, and the quality of life was drastically decreasing. The pain medications and the nerve and muscle blocks, they had stopped working. It took everything I had to get up in the morning to get my kids off to school, and then after they got to school, I just spent the day on the couch. I wasn't able to lift a pan to cook a meal. I wasn't able to have any energy to do a load of laundry or even clean the house. So when my friend invited me to a Relive meeting, and then I met my friend Cassandra, who you'll meet later on tonight, I listened to what they had to say, and I was immediately drawn to the product. And since I felt my life had just hit rock bottom, I was looking at a life full of, just doom and gloom. I was going to be looking at long-term disability, expensive pain medications that were filled with multiple side effects, and I was unable, like I said, to interact with my kids, play football with my sons, softball with my daughters, or do anything other than just sit on the couch. So I had nothing to lose. I immediately started the products. I was taking now the Energize and the Luna Rich capsules twice a day. The first week I was getting restful sleep. My energy and focus was increasing daily. I was able to fix my kids' breakfast that first week. Within 2 weeks, I was fixing dinner without dropping anything on the floor. Within the first month, I was doing laundry and cleaning the house. Also within the first month, with the help of my surgeon, I was decreasing my pain meds. I had completely stopped the nerve and muscle blocks. Within 8 weeks, I was completely off all pain meds. I was sleeping through the night. Within 6 months, I was feeling better than I had in years. By my 6-month follow-up with my neurovascular surgeon, he was shocked and practically speechless. I'd gone from a patient who had very little quality of life to a very vibrant, energetic person, practically bouncing off the walls. And at a year follow-up, he was speechless still, and he continued to be amazed at my improvement. And at my last follow-up appointment, still speechless. And at 2 years, I work out several times a week. I am active on 7 fundraising committees. My daughter hosts movie nights at our house at least 2 or 3 times a month. On average, I am active at 3 sporting events a week and attend at least 5 or 6 a week. Needless to say, I am nonstop with my 4 kids, and it scares me to think what kind of life I would have without these products. And I am very thankful and proud, and I tell people every single day that I do not have to be without these products.
Wow, Tracy, that is a wonderful story. That is just so fantastic. Life of doom and gloom, and to where you are now. And you took, or I assume you're still taking the Luna Rich and the Energize. Is that what you said?
Yes, I am.
Oh, Tracy, congratulations.
Thank
folks,
you.
wonder if you were the one who put Tracy on these products and gave her life back. I love your story. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing it. I do this call every week, and I travel the world with Relive, hearing these kind of stories, and they just touch my heart. It just, we have a moral obligation in Relive to go out and share these products to the world because of stories like you just heard. Now, we don't make any health claims that's going to cure this or cure that. What we do know is that Relive makes the greatest nutritional products in the world, patented nutritional products that go through clinical studies, products that are made in our own factory by our own scientists that hold more food patents than anybody. Just an amazing company, and we are what we eat. And what we have is superfood. And because of that, there's a terrific opportunity, a tremendous business. How much fun is it to go out and build a business around stories like this, helping people to better health? So I want to talk about business for a second, and I'm going to go back to Illinois, and I want to go to Cassandra Anderson. And Cassandra, thank you for being on the call, and could you tell us a little bit about your business?
Sure, it's a pleasure, Tom. Thank you. I am Cassandra Anderson from Mount Zion, Illinois, and I looked at Relive many years ago specifically for the business. I had been in management in the corporate world. I had a wonderful job, but I very happily left that job when we adopted our son as a baby. My lifelong dream was to be able to be an at-home mom, and I was able to do that because my husband at the time owned his own company. He provided very comfortably for us, so my life was going along just as I had always dreamed for it to go. But some things changed for him down the road, and he made a decision to actually leave his business. And we went from a lot of income to zero, literally, all in one day. And I knew I was probably going to have to go back to work. And I knew I could get my job back, but I desperately did not want to leave that child. So I began to search for a business I could do from home. I heard about Relive. I loved everything about it. And I made a decision to jump in at the top profit level. This was January of 2003. And I began to share with people right away. Within a couple of months, I was able to earn about $2,000 in profit. That was very exciting to me because that was exactly what I needed to keep my son in private school, which was very important to me. During that first year, I had limited time, but I still was able to continue to build. And that first year, I earned about $1,000 a month. I think my 1099 was around $15,000. By the end of the second year, my income was well over $4,000 a month. It has been as high as $12,000 in a calendar month. I did replace that income. Most importantly for me, I was able to be home with my son. I didn't miss anything with him. I am so grateful for that. Some things along the way that happened, I was able to also earn 28 all-expense-paid trips. So I have been all over the United States and Canada and Cancun and experienced the most amazing things I know I wouldn't have had it not been for Relive. I was able to take my son and my mom on some of those trips, which was amazing. Last year I earned a bonus and was able to set up a scholarship fund for in my son's memory, actually, at a martial arts school that made a big difference for him. So now I'm going to be able to help other people in that way as well. And I have 2 grandsons, so I know that everything I do today is going to be able to be passed on to them, will pay for their college, and I just love the freedom of knowing that it's my choice of what I do, when I do it, how I do it, and if there's anything I want or need, all I have to do is go out and help more people, and I can earn more income. I am so grateful for Relive. I will do this business for the rest of my life.
Oh, Cassandra, thank you. 28 trips. That's just wonderful. I do. I love the time freedom of Relive. Work when you want, play when you want. You're your own boss. And you know what? The best boss you're ever going to have is you. And thank you, Cassandra. I'm going to go down to South Carolina now, and I want to welcome to the call Kathy Penny. Kathy, thank you so much for taking time to share with us.
Sure. Hi, Tom. Thanks for inviting me on the call. Hi, everybody. My name's Kathy Penny, and I moved 9 years ago from Massachusetts to the Myrtle Beach area in South Carolina. My business story is a little different than a lot of people. I never saw myself being a business person. I've never gone to college. I didn't know anything about business sales or nutrition. I got amazing results on the products over 21 years ago, but I just kept this wonderful secret to myself. It took my friend Georgianne dying of breast cancer after 4 years of me being on the products. I had breast cancer the same time she did, and when she passed away, I said, oh my goodness, what if I would have told her? Would it have made a difference in her life? And that's when I started sharing it. If people would tell me they didn't feel good, I'd say, oh, I'm taking this drink, it's going to help you feel better. And my friends got on the products, and they got amazing results, and then they saw that I was making a check every month, and that was giving me money to put food on my table because I was a single parent at that time, and I was cleaning houses for a living. I was going to food pantries in my church and around town. I had no heat in my home a lot of the time, so I was getting fuel assistance from Massachusetts. I remember a couple of nights, me and my 2 children sitting on the floor with blankets around us with my oven door open and been trying to get some heat. But, you know, that was my life, and I was hopeless like a lot of people are nowadays. What happened was when my friends saw I was getting a check every month, they said, Kathy, this is a business opportunity. I wish you would have told us. So I'm still cleaning houses, but, you know, there's no paperwork. I didn't realize what was happening, but when my friends started sharing with those they cared about, in 7 months my check grew to $2,000 a month, and I quit those house cleaning jobs, and I was able to do full-time ministry, which is where my heart's desire was. Over the years, my check kept growing to $4,000, $6,000, $8,000. My highest check was over $10,000. I was able to be on 14 all-expense-paid trips with Relive. I was blessed to go on Relive's first missions trip to the Philippines, and I went through the different places that Relive is feeding. They feed over 45,000, mostly children, every single day around the world. And so it's really, really a different company. I actually stepped back from the business a few years ago. My mother lived with me for 19 years. I took care of her and didn't put her in a nursing home because the Relive products really helped her health. She just passed away, almost 102 years old. And then my daughter and 3 grandchildren and her husband moved in with me the past couple of years. And you know what? I had all this time to spend with them. I took them to the beach. I watched videos with them. And this is definitely something you can't do when you're working for corporate America, Tom. And so I am 67 years old. People say I look like I'm 57. I act like I'm 47. I feel like I'm 37 years old, and I'll never stop sharing the blessing of Relive.
Oh, Kathy, you're a hoot. Goodness gracious. Love your story. Love you.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathy. I'm going to go up to Pennsylvania, and I'm just delighted to welcome to the call tonight Amy Thomas. Amy, so good to hear from you.
Hey, great to be on, Tom. Thanks for asking me. When our family got involved with Relive, I was at a different stage of life. I have 2 grown kids now. At the time, they were younger and both home, and my husband was a youth pastor. I was a stay-at-home mom. I had chosen to leave a middle management position in the computer industry to raise my kids, and I absolutely loved that. Was very involved with youth ministry and kids ministry at our church, but I'll tell you, living on a youth pastor's salary, money was very tight, and both my husband and I knew that I was going to have to head back to work. But every time I thought about heading back to that corporate America rat race, I just dreaded it. And then Relive came into our lives, and, I just fell in love with the stories I heard and the lives that I saw changing. Our family just saw wonderful things with Relive, and I just couldn't keep my mouth shut. I really had not been looking for a home-based business, but I started doing it without even realizing it. I had people that were interested. And so as we took a closer look at that compensation plan, we really started to dream and really started to realize that this might be the thing that could keep me home and allow me to be that full-time mom and just have a business out of my home. And so I just began to share my heart. I became very teachable and went out and started helping people. And we initially started not only getting our product paid for, which was great for a family of 4, but I started bringing in an extra $400 to $500 a month, and that was just huge for us. And, over time, as my kids got a little bit older and I had more time to put into it, that ended up growing into a full-time income with months as high as $8,000 and $9,000 in a month, and just a lifestyle change that it meant for our family. With my kids now grown, I look back on those years when they were here in the home and just being able to have that time with them, time to just be involved with their activities and their lives and not be a dragged-out, tired mom who is exhausted from working corporate America. I'm just so grateful for those years. And now at this stage of life, I just love the freedom and flexibility that I still have with having my own business and setting my own hours. And if I want to give myself a raise, I just go out and help more people. That's so much fun. So we're ambassadors with Relive. That's been a lot of fun, many fun trips over the years, places all over the U.S. and up to Canada, Jamaica, the Bahamas, been to Rome, Italy, just all kinds of wonderful experiences and cash bonuses along the way. But just the privilege of making a difference in people's lives and earning an income because of going out and making a difference and caring about people. I absolutely love what I do.
Oh, Amy, you live in a purposeful life and changing people's lives, and no one does it better than you. Thank you